Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thank you for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. So we have this brand new Mandela effect. It's brought to you by Josh Speed and Theresa Lynch. And there's this TV show you guys remember. It was based in the 70s and 80s. You remember a show on Nickelodeon called You Can't Do That on Television? Let me play a little bit of this theme here so you might know what I'm talking about. Okay, anyways, so this show brought a lot of memories back watching this again. But there were some characters on there, namely the grown-up guy who served burgers. What was his name? Do you guys remember his name as Barf or Barf? Which one do you remember? Because I'm remembering Barf, and, you know, I know I'm not the only one here because there's a ton of residue out there, and Theresa's found a bunch of residue for us. I don't really know what to say. I mean, it's been a long time since I watched the show. It seemed like his name would have been Barf. I mean, honestly. And I know there's Barf from Spaceballs. I know we're not confusing it with that. This person here says, I miss Barf. Barf's Burgers. You Can't Do That on Television, 1979 to 1990. Wesley Perez says, who remembers this show? I remember Barf and his Barf Burgers. Plus, if you say a particular word, you get slimed. If you don't know, this was a children's skit show. Some skits took place in a school locker room, restaurant, dungeon, firing squad, and other different places along with the studio. It was a show that started off an hour long. It was originally a Canadian show. When it was brought onto Nickelodeon, it was cut down to 23 to 25 minutes plus commercials. The intro is very memorable. See? There's a Barf Burger. See? T-shirt. Barf Burger. Another T-shirt. I mean, his burgers were nasty. They were like barf. I mean, that's why his name was Barf. Hey, I remember this show with Barf Burger Guy. Interesting. Riley says, thankfully I quit eating McDalmers a few weeks ago. I feel vindicated by this article. They may have stopped using the pink plasma, but what else is in their burgers? This reminds me of Barf's Burgers from You Can't Do That on Television. Every sketch that's funny, Sketchers, sort of. Every sketch that involved him would end with, what do you think is in the burgers? Now we know. And knowing is the stuff of nightmares. Gosh. It's like barf, you know? Ugh. Let's see. Cody on Twitter says, only show I can remember ever being told to turn off. You Can't Do That on Television. I think it was because of Barf's Burgers, and it was pretty short-lived ban. Yeah, you remember the people getting slimed? That's pretty neat, huh? Here's one more residue. Actually, a couple more. See, that's all anyone remembers. I don't know. And water. Does anyone remember Barf's Burgers? Kids, to get into our club, you have to eat a Barf Burger or play Red Rover on the freeway at peak hour. So, yeah. So it says here, it worked because that fall guy who played Barf and the floor manager. He also played the floor manager, and he was also the teacher and the father, etc. Plus, of course, the mother, Valerie. Don't encourage them. And all those little elements that made it stupid and juvenile and crass and silly. And as kids, is exactly why we loved it so much. See? Here's another one. Don't eat the gravy. See, 2012, it says here, back in the early to mid-80s, one of my all-time favorite shows was a Canadian import by the name of You Can't Do That on Television. Over the years, it became known as That Show with Alanis Morissette. But that's not why I remember it. Nickelodeon aired this great show featuring memorable skits such as the firing squad and, of course, the kids getting slimed. But my all-time favorite skit was Barf's Burgers. This one may have changed because, look, it says, home of the Barf Burger. You guys see that? But over here it says Barth, which is what it is now in this reality. So we're seeing a half change here. This is like a change in the middle of a change. You know? Luckily, Theresa caught it before it changed all the way here, because it says here, the running joke was that Barth, B-A-R-T-H, used the worst of the worst meat. One day it would be cats, one day it would be rats, but most days it was just a disgusting mystery meat. Who could forget the classic line each time the kids complained about the burgers? Duh! I heard that! Classic. So yeah, great residue. Thank you, Theresa, for sending that in. Barfs burgers or Barth's burgers. Which one is it to you? This article here says home of the Barf burger, and over here it says Barth's burgers. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I just want to bring that to your attention. Have a great Mandela effect night, you guys, and God bless.